Yo, what's up, y'all? Your boy back. This is a video that should have been made a long ass time ago. I don't know why all of a sudden my mind wants to start to work. I think it's because we finally, slowly but surely, getting a lot of classic mixtapes on streaming services now, and I feel like it's in my best interest to let you guys, or just to remind you guys, about the best mixtapes of all the freaking times. The mixtapes that came out when life was good. You know what I'm saying? The mixtapes that, you can go back to them and listen to them over and over and over again, and damn near all of them are better than the music that comes out now. No shade, I'm just saying the music back then was something else, okay? I'm not gonna waste any time. This is in no order, by the way. This is just, mixtape after mixtape, just nothing but classics, man. All right, so first on the list, we got Chance the Rapper with Acid Rap. I could not have this list and not have Acid Rap on here. Honestly, this was Chance the Rapper at his best, creatively, lyrically, all of that. Everything you want to throw into the freaking hat. This was Chance at his best, okay? This was Chance showing us that there was a chance that he could be something special. He could be something great within this music stuff. And, it was a great preview for his career. You know what I'm saying? Because he ended up winning a Grammy, or maybe however many Grammys or whatever, for what was it? Coloring Book, I believe. Which, by the way, that is a great album. That is a really, really great album. If that was his debut album and not the Big Ass that came out after that, I would have been happy. But unfortunately, he ruined every single chance of ever redeeming himself with dropping the Big Ass. And I don't know, it's just been downhill ever since. But we're not talking about that. We talking about the good days. We talking about the good old days, the music that actually meant something. You know what I'm saying? That not the music that gave us hot shower and shit. We just gonna move on. Next on here, we got Meek Mill with Dream Chasers 2. Now, anybody, you can say, honestly, that the entire Dream Chasers series is a classic, but for me, Dream Chasers 2, that's the mixtape. That's the one that does it for me. I still go back to that, honestly, more than his newer stuff. Not to say that his newer stuff is garbage or anything, because one thing when it comes to Meek Mill, you can meme that dude online all you want, but when it comes to his albums, when it comes to his full-length projects, he does not disappoint. And I want somebody in the comment section to tell me that he makes garbage albums. You're lying to yourself. I promise you, you are lying to yourself, okay? Yeah, Meek Mill says some dumb stuff online, which resulted in me muting him, of course, but that's besides the point. We talking about the music, right? So Dream Chasers 2, he came out full freaking swinging on that bitch. I think Ready or Not, it might be one of my favorite tracks from Meek of all time, honestly. And you already know he's like one of the kings when it comes to the intros on his albums, or in this case, his mixtapes. So this was like a no-brainer for me. I feel like this was Meek. I wouldn't say this is Meek at his tip-top shape or whatever, but I feel like this was when he was more hungry. This is when he had more drive, more all of that within his music. You know, he was just coming up, so it made sense. But yeah, man, Dream Chasers 2, Meek Mill, bro. Like, I really miss these days, the era, honestly, of mixtapes. You know, when an artist would drop a mixtape just randomly, or schedule a day for a mixtape or something like that. Because like Dat Piff. Shout out Dat Piff, man. Shout out for, yo, I remember the days of just scrolling on Dat Piff trying to find a new mixtape to listen to, I remember when Lil Wayne, speaking of Lil Wayne, we're about to get into Lil Wayne in a minute, but speaking of Lil Wayne, I remember when, what was it, Sorry for the Wait 2 dropped, and I was looking all over for it. I was like, wait a minute, Dylan Dat Piff, and sure enough, it was there. And it was over. I don't know how many times I've listened to Sorry for the Wait 2, but it's been a lot, okay? And back then, I was listening to a lot of Lil Wayne, a lot of Meek Mill, a lot of Eminem, just a lot of the good stuff, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, leading right into it, Lil Wayne, you know what I'm saying? Lil Wayne, we can honestly say he might be the king of mixtapes. You know, he might be the solidified, undisputed king of the mixtape era, because that man dropped mixtape after mixtape after mixtape. And not only was he just dropping mixtapes, they were freaking fire. You could say that, you know, okay, maybe this one wasn't as good as the last one, or, you know, the one that comes after it, whatever you want to say. But I still feel like, as somebody who dropped so many damn mixtapes within his freaking career and doing that during that stretch of time, it's like, it's insane. Okay, I can't not bring up No Ceilings, the Dedication mixtapes, the Drought 3, Sorry for the Wait, like just a whole bunch of mixtapes that even if you didn't like one, there's like 4 others that you can still enjoy. You know what I'm saying? Like, absolutely freaking killed it. I will never forget No Ceilings, when he was already bodying 2008. Okay, 2008 was that year for Wayne. All right, and you couldn't go nowhere. You couldn't turn the radio on. You couldn't look at a billboard without seeing that man's face. Okay, you couldn't turn on TV. None of that. 106 in Park was popping. You know what I'm saying? Lil Wayne was all over the TV dancing and shit. It was a beautiful freaking time, and I loved all of it. All right, the mixtapes were amazing. No Ceilings was amazing. Pretty much a majority of the mixtapes that Lil Wayne has ever dropped, freaking amazing, fire. Honestly, seeing Lil Wayne take beats or instrumentals that are really popping at that time and just ripping them to freaking shreds, and then taking another one, ripping that to shreds, taking the next one, just going crazy on them, was like, how is he doing this? You know what I'm saying? This is insane. No man should be able to do this, but he was freaking doing it. And then if somebody did try to do it, they were alright. They were okay, but they weren't good as Wayne. You know what I'm saying? That's how amazing these mixtapes were, especially No Ceilings, especially The Drought. Just all of them. Like, legit, if there's anything that can be said about Lil Wayne's career, you know, alright, forget how you may feel about the Carter albums, which I feel like the Carter 2 is definitely a classic, right? Forget how you may feel about those albums. If we're going to talk about his career, you cannot not talk about those mixtapes. Those mixtapes have to be brought in to freaking interrogation, bitch. Okay? Next on here, we got Joey Badass with 1999. This was my introduction to Joey Badass back then. Ever since then, it's been a ride. Joey Badass has always brought fire ass freaking music since then. Summer Nights, to the last project he dropped, to the project before that, just all of them. Okay, I love Joey Badass. He's always been amazing as an artist. R.I.P. Capital Steez, you know what I'm saying? Like, legit, Joey Badass. If you don't like Joey Badass, I can't trust you. I'm gonna keep it a bean. I said it on camera. I'm gonna say it again. If you don't like Joey Badass, bitch, I can't trust you. All right. Next on here, we got Wiz Khalifa, Cushion OJ. I mean, it's Wiz Khalifa, it's Cushion OJ. Even if you weren't a freaking pothead, you was listening to this damn album. And I didn't become a pothead until after high school. So that was like, what, 2016? Yeah, about 2016. And I listened to this album, mixtape, a lot. Especially, you know, along with his albums that came after that. So, you know, Black and Yellow. What was the joint where he's it's a all white background cover? Oh my gosh, bro. Is it Black Hollywood? Or am I thinking of a different album? I can't remember the name of that album, but We Them Boys is on that album, okay? I played that damn song to freaking shreds, bitch. Okay, but anyways, Cushion OJ, Wiz Khalifa. Again, if you're not a pothead, even if you, regardless if you were a pothead or not, that mixtape. So I'm gonna say to that. All right. Next on here, we got Mac Miller with Faces. I've been listening to this mixtape for about 3 weeks straight now. I do have the vinyl. Yes, I freaking do, bitch. I miss Mac Miller, man. I miss Mac Miller. I was reading up some information on Faces. Some people did consider Faces as like his Magnus. Is it Magnus Opus? Magnum Opus? How the flip do you say that? Some people did consider Faces as his magnum opus, during that time anyway. And I see why. I definitely see why. You can't have an album with tracks like Inside Outside, Colors and Shapes, Birthday, Wedding, and Funeral, and including the newest track, yeah, and just say that that mixtape is garbage, or it wasn't all that, or it was lackluster, or shut up, shut up. That mixtape is amazing. Definitely, I'm about to start crying just thinking about it, because again, this is all I've been listening to for the past 3 weeks. Okay, I miss Mac, I really freaking do, and having Yeah on repeat at 3 o'clock in the morning when you're looking at the freaking ceiling, contemplating life, thinking about what the hell you did wrong, shit is weird. It's wild, okay? But it makes sense though. You know what I'm saying? It makes. I'm going off on a tangent. Next on here, man, we got J. Cole, Friday Night Lights. The amount of times I've blasted Friday Night Lights into freaking oblivion is absolutely ridiculous, and I really hope that one day, before I turn freaking 30, bish, I really hope that Friday Night Lights ends up on the daggone streaming services, man, because this is, honestly, the same way that people considered Faces to be Mac Miller's magnum opus could be the same for J. Cole and Friday Night Lights. I know some people would say that, you can't really say that, because for some people they feel like for your eyes only, Forest Hills Drive, they feel like that album is his best work or whatever. But I feel like, bro, if you really like Forest Hills Drive, you gotta really, really like Friday Night Lights too. Like you can't have one without the other, honestly. You know what I'm saying? J. Cole really put his foot in that mixtape, and if there's anything that I go back to by J. Cole that's not an album, it is definitely Friday Night Lights. Which reminds me, I gotta re-download DatPiff on my phone so I could go back and listen to these mixtapes on a regular basis again, because we're starting to get some of them, like I mentioned before. We're starting to get some of them on streaming services, but, not all of them are there. So, you got to go back to the old reliable. But J. Cole, Friday Night Lights, man, that's a freaking classic. Anybody who says it's not a classic, you're dumbass. I love that freaking mixtape with all my freaking fiber in my being. All right. J. Cole did his thing. And honestly, that was a precursor to the career he has now, to where he's at now. And I feel like if it wasn't for mixtapes like Friday Night Lights, the warm up, there would be no J. Cole, or at least there wouldn't be a J. Cole that we have now. It could probably would have been the same J. Cole that gave us, what was the first album, The Sideline Story, which wasn't all that. I mean, Lost Ones was okay, but as an album, Anyways, next on here, we got Travis Scott, Days Before Rodeo. If you thought I wasn't going to talk about Travis Scott or Days Before Rodeo, you sniffing that cocaine crack, and you need you need to go in rehab, for real. Days Before Rodeo, yo, son, it's one thing to listen to this mixtape to oblivion, right? But it's another to see this man perform Drugs You Should Try It in real life at concert. It's a whole nother experience. I tried if it feels nice. Him and Young Thug need to drop their own collab mixtape together. Please, one day, please. Do it this year. No. Do it next year, please. All right. I feel like that's a mixtape that everybody is still waiting on. That Young Thug and Travis Scott. Because especially, bro, let's picture it in your freaking mind. Young Thug, Travis Scott, Metro Boomin production. Tell me that's not some heat. Tell me a 13 track mixtape with Young Thug and Travis Scott with Metro Boomin production on that bitch. Tell me that's not some heat, bro. Tell me that's not some fire. You sniffing crack. You want that Vietnamese opium? You need to put that bitch down. Stop sniffing them Sharpie pens, because you already know, you damn well know, if that joint came out, oh my gosh, cars would be set on fire. That's how fire that mixtape would be. Yes, Lord. Travis Scott, Days Before Rodeo. A freaking classic. I don't have nothing else to say other than that's a freaking classic. And the fact that we got Days Before Rodeo and then Rodeo, it's like... Next on here, we have A$AP Rocky with Love Live A$AP. This is the mixtape that pretty much everybody knew about this man from. Everybody just say, hey, yo, who is this dude with the gold grills in his mouth talking about, double cups and shit. Listen. I'm gonna keep it a bean right now, alright? I'm gonna keep it a whole stack with y'all. A$AP Rocky doesn't have a bad album. And I put that on my life. ASAP Rocky does not have a bad album. I remember when I first heard Testing, and I didn't really like it because it was, it was an experimental album that I wasn't really all the way here for. But son, you gotta give albums like that some time. I gave that about a year, and then I went back to it. When I tell you that man don't got no bad albums, he has no bad albums, no bad mixtapes. It just doesn't. It doesn't exist. It doesn't freaking exist. You can't tell me ASAP Rocky's bad album, ASAP Rocky's worst out. No, you can't, because it don't exist. It don't. I'm gonna keep it a beat. And his best album is At Long Last ASAP, but we already knew that. But he has no bad music. The man has no bad music, bro. Even freaking Sundress. Well, I'm not gonna say he has no bad music, because he's definitely been on some features that was like, huh? But as far as his own music, no, it don't exist. It don't freaking exist. All right, no. This mixtape here though, Love Live ASAP, that actually just recently got on the streaming services that I've been blasting all freaking day. Especially Brand New Guy with Schoolboy Q. Love it all. Absolutely freaking love it all. Okay. I have nothing else to say other than the man cannot do anything wrong. It's ASAP freaking Rocky, you bum bitch. Okay. And of course, can't forget about ASAP Ferg, but we talking about ASAP Rocky today. All right. Next on here, we cannot talk about mixtapes, classic ass mixtapes, and not bring up Drizzy Drake. You know what I'm saying? Wheelchair Jimmy, the man that made us wait 9 months for a freaking album full of, woo, almost said something crazy. This mixtape has so many memories attached to my freaking life. It's actually insane. Okay, I always knew that Drake was gonna make better music, but I did not think that from So Far Gone, Thank Me Later, and then freaking Take Care, and Nothing Was the Same, and all these damn albums and mixtape was gonna be etched in my freaking brain to the point where I can pinpoint where I was during specific times of when Thank Me Later dropped, or when I was listening to So Far Gone at one point, or when Take Care dropped, and Marvin's Room was blasting all over the freaking speakers, or what I'm saying, like it really goes to show you, like, yo, Drake, honestly, regardless of whatever criticisms we have about that man, he has dropped gems throughout his entire career. I feel like that's why, he's able to get away with a lot of the things that he does now, because we know that he's capable of dropping classics. We know that he's capable of dropping some freaking amazing ass music. But because it's Drake, and because he feels like he could just, do whatever he wants now, we don't get that anymore. A lot of what we get is way too sexy, and I'm not listening to that. I'm not blasting that in the car. I'm not listening to that at home. I'm not going out. No, it's not happening. As far as So Far Gone goes, this is a mixtape that I honestly feel like this is what put Drake on the map. Because I remember listening to I think it was Successful for the very first time. He came on the radio one night, and I had asked my dad actually who this was, and he didn't know who it was. And then the person on the radio was like, "Yeah, that was Drake with Successful featuring Trey Songz." I was like, "Okay, Drake, Successful. All right, cool." Then I started looking all over for it and found a mixtape, and from then on, I became a Drake fan. All right, from then on, right? I didn't really watch him a lot in Degrassi, but I kept up with his music heavy. All right, so if it wasn't for So Far Gone, I don't know what the projection of Drake's career would be like right now. But all thanks goes to So Far Gone. After So Far Gone, we also have If You're Reading This Is Too Late. Now, there's some debate on this, whether it's a mixtape or an album or both. For me, I feel like it's a mixtape because that joint dropped out of nowhere. Nobody knew it was dropping. Everybody knew like something was coming out, but nobody knew when, and it just dropped. Okay, and you couldn't even I don't even think you could listen on like the streaming service at that time. I think you had to go on to an actual mixtape place or service to listen to it for the first time. And I know exactly where I was when I listened to that for the first time. I was washing dishes, and I checked on Twitter, and it was like, yo, Drake dropped If You're Reading This. I'm like, Drake dropped? I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And listen to the very first song, Legend. It was over. All right, it was over. Honestly, for some people, If You're Reading This Is Too Late is Drake's best album. For me, I don't think so personally, but I do think it is gotta be in his top 3. gotta be in his top 3. You know what I'm saying? Thank me later. Take care, nothing was the same. If you're reading this, for some people they have views over if you're reading this. I don't, but I could see why. Views is an amazing album. I will never not talk about Views. But if you're reading this is too late is definitely Drake, I would say, at, you know, some of his best work ever, honestly. And if we're being real, ever since 2016 when Views dropped, the quality of his work definitely died down, because I felt like he didn't really have anything to prove at that point. Because If You're Reading This Is Too Late dropped. So, you know, if it wasn't for If You're Reading This, or if it wasn't for the success of So Far Gone, or Thank Me Later, or even Take Care, Nothing Was the Same, especially Take Care, Nothing Was the Same, that we probably would still be getting more cohesive albums and not like these playlists of albums, you know what I'm saying? But all in all, man, shout out Drake, shout out So Far Gone, you know, If You're Reading This, all the classic music from Drake that we've been able to receive over the years, man. Like, when I think about artists like Drake, Kanye, you know, The Weeknd, Cole, Childish Gambino, A$AP Rocky, so many different artists, right, who have been able to just give us, Frank Ocean, so many artists who have given us music over the time period that has just been etched in our brain, that we know exactly where we were during a specific point in time when we first heard this music. It's like insane to really think about, you know, and that's the power of music. That's how much this music stuff means to me, at least. I don't know about y'all, but for me, that's how much it means to me, because I could really tell you where I was during certain moments. Like, just to sidetrack a bit, I remember when I first heard Get Rich or Die Trying by 50 Cent. You know, I was in elementary school. I remember the first time listening to Eminem was also in elementary, right? I listened to Eminem first on the radio, but I bought my first album was Get Rich or Die Trying, and that was elementary school. I had no business listening to Many Men at that age, okay? I should have been outside playing basketball, which I was doing, but I was also listening to some guy talking about getting shot 9 times. So, you know, there was a balance there. But anyways, for the last mixtape on here, I cannot forget about one of the greatest mixtapes of all time. If it wasn't for this mixtape, there wouldn't be, you know, these albums right here. The Weeknd, House of Balloons. This is the mixtape that pretty much solidified The Weeknd as a legend, and he was just starting his career. Not a lot of people could do that. Not a lot of people can say that they have that level of artistry to the point where their first initial drop is a legendary you know, body of work. If it wasn't for House of Balloons, there would be no Beauty Behind the Madness, there would be no Kissland, there would be none of that, okay? All of the work that we know and love this man for would not be here if it wasn't for House of Balloons. I saw somebody on Instagram one day, and they were kind of, they weren't really interested in the new track Take My Breath, right? They were like, oh, he's trying some new EDM type stuff, and I don't really like that. And it really sparked this like this alarm to go off in my head, because I'm like, how is it that you don't like this new EDM, quote unquote, that he's doing in the music, but he was doing it on House of Balloons where he first started? Like, this is nothing new, you know what I'm saying? Everything that we know this guy for now, he was doing when he first started. Shout out The Weeknd, shout out to every single person who has ever worked on House of Balloons, who had help, who Il Angelo, Doc, Lamar, everybody, you know what I'm saying? The girl in the picture, every single person who put this bitch together, because if it wasn't for y'all, I don't know, man. I don't know how far The Weeknd would have been able to come as far as his career goes. You know, hell, he probably would have been signed to OVO right now if it wasn't for House of Balloons. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even want to think about that. But hey, these are the best mixtapes of all time. I'm sure somebody in the comment section is going to tell me I forgot something. Bitch, this is my list. You make your own damn list. Don't tell me how to run stuff over here, cuz if you feel like I left something out, you let it be known in your own list, okay? So I would like for y'all to do that in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions. What are your best mixtapes of all time? How often do you listen to these mixtapes? Just talk to me in the comment section. How do you feel, you know, or felt when you listen to these mixtapes? Just talk to me, man. If you guys enjoyed today's video, do make sure to leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe for more. Always, Gen Squad. Thank you for watching. Like I said before, bro, time was so much better when these mixtapes came out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like right now we're in a time where everything is really saturated. Everything damn near sounds the same. And if it doesn't sound the same, it's really a breath of fresh air. And then it goes right back to oversaturation and garbage. And then you have people who feel like they're making like the music they're making is so damn different, but it's like almost a damn carbon copy of, what's hot right now. So I don't know. Music I feel like is in a weird place, but at the same time, it's in a good place as well. Because you have a lot of up and coming people who are making amazing music, but then you have the mainstream people who are just making a lot of mid, bro. Anyways, y'all talk to me in the comment section. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one. Peace.